Good morning, everyone. How are you doing this morning? My name's Dan. This is Tweet FPV, and we're going to talk about some drone stuff, like we always do, and then we're going to devolve into basically whatever it is we want to talk about, like we do every week. So thank you all for coming out this morning. It's morning here. I don't know where it's at, what it is where you're at, but thank you for coming out. This morning is powered by, yes, the one and only Ruby Moon Coffee. I had to go back to my standard Starbucks stuff, or no, not Starbucks, Costco stuff. And you really get spoiled with good coffee. Somehow this mug has the ability to remove heat from anything in record time. I typically microwave coffee in the morning if I'm feeling lazy and I have leftovers. I don't like to waste things. That cup gets to be about 1,000,000 degrees while the coffee inside of it stays lukewarm. I'm not sure why. Anyways, over in the chat, House FEV, thank you so much for coming out today. Something's not right. That's right. We don't have any sound in the background going. There we go. If you guys don't like the music, do like the music, want it louder, quieter, whatever, let me know. Sometimes the mix that I'm hearing is not exactly what you guys are hearing. All right, House FEV, thank you for coming out. Was gonna miss most of the stream though. Well, that's all right. Not a big deal. Rick Zapata, as always, thank you. Rick has a extremely active Discord. A lot of friendly people over there, and on typically every Saturday morning he does a live stream on Discord, which is a pretty interesting little dynamic because it allows everybody to, voice and do video chat back and forth, which is really cool. I kind of wish YouTube had that ability to do that without getting demonetized by people doing dumb stuff in the background. Dan636, last week he had a problem with his X-Lite needing to be power cycled after swapping models all the time. He said he updated it, and that is fixed. There's a reason why updates come out, and it's because they carry bug fixes like that. I bet you if you poke down through the GitHub and look at all the bug fixes, you might find one that calls out your particular issue. But that's awesome news that you got that fixed. House has an Apex Micro 3 build that he's working on. 3-inch quads are a pretty interesting little class. I prefer 3.5, although probably my favorite quad to fly, other than the Tiny Trainer right now, is the Baby Hawk HD. But you have to be on digital system to do that. Yeah. Speaking of digital systems, wow. Yesterday we finally had a multi-GP race. We didn't get weathered out like we have been for like the last 3 months. We had decent attendance. I think we had 5 people show up. We had a couple we had one newer face, Eric Allen. Thank you so much for coming out. It was great getting a race with you. He came out and spectated once, just for grins, and he actually raced this time, and I hope he had fun. It was definitely fun getting to hang out with some new people. But on the digital news, this is what I was running most of the day. Sharkbite, or HD0, or whatever you want to call it, same. It was a Sharkbite receiver on my Orcas, and I have to say that is the future. With the new cameras and the VTXs that are available, I built a 533 Switchback Zero. This one has the HD0 camera in it. All I have to say is, oh my god, what a difference that made. It is so clear flying around. It was not a great day for flying. It was super foggy and windy. A lot of people were complaining about not being able to see. To be honest, I could see pretty darn good. Pretty good. I have zero complaints about the system. It did fail on me after maybe the 4th or 5th heat. Things were extremely wet. I went into some tall grass after I clipped a gate that fell over. And it wouldn't power back on after the first reboot. Got it home, dried everything off, still wouldn't work. Found a piece of grass bridging a bunch of connections on the MIPI connector, where it solders to the board. Cleaned that off, and she's good to go. So definitely conformal coating that thing. Actually, I already did conformal coat it for next time. But I'm going to move a bunch of my race quads over to HD0, Sharkbite, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, yesterday I broke the HD0 quad. I broke my primary backup analog quad, and then my tertiary backup analog quad, which is all reliable, flies great. That one carried me through the rest of the day. But yeah, it was a great time racing. We were worried that the weather wasn't going to hold out, but things turned out a lot nicer than I thought they would. Going through the chat. Oh, the YouTube chat did the thing. Yeah, there we go. Oh, man. So we usually take July off, and we'll probably get into some indoor racing. Our usual indoor racing guy has moved out of the area, unfortunately, so I might be hosting the micro races here. Well, somebody else wants to do it. So over in the chat, we have Rick Zapata, House FPV, Dan636, Peter Linick. How you doing this morning? Brian Huff, how are you? Doing well. Spander, thank you for coming out today. Currents JW, as usual, thank you so much. CNC Drones got back to me. Guess they had some flooding issues. Should have the AOS 5R replacements out soon. Great news. Thanks for the update there, Currents JW. Bitterroot FPV, that's a new one. Thank you for coming out. Steady FPV, a continuous supporter of mine. Morning Tweak, got my Secret Shopper stuff up and running last night. ELRS now up and running, awesome. I am making the switch to ELRS, except for my two analog race quads. Those have Tracer 69s in them. Those are going to stay that way until I need to swap them out. So no particular reason other than just me being lazy, and the fact that I am using the Mambo and it's already built into it. So if I had to swap a module out, I would just switch them to ELRS. So I had the Speedy Turtle crate last week, and I probably threw like 10 Crossfire receivers in there and a whole fistful of antennas. Done with Crossfire. I don't have use for it. I prefer Express LRS. The big thing about Express LRS is it's a one protocol that covers everything from micros to big old X-class suckers like that. All one protocol, not locked down to one manufacturer. It is the future, guys. I know it didn't have much of a showing at this year's Multi-GP Nationals, but I bet you next year you're going to see a lot of people on Express LRS. Speaking of Express LRS, version 2.0 is out of release candidate as of last night this morning. So go ahead and flash your stuff up. Just remember that it won't work if you have whoops or something with ELRS built into the board over SPI. You're going to have to update Betaflight, and I don't know if that's a very straightforward process yet. I have not tried it. There is a whole set of documentation on how to update it right here. I'm putting the old Chatema thing there for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. But Express LRS 2.0 is bringing a lot of interesting features, a lot of improvements, a lot of enhancements to the Lua, a lot of different changes the way they handle switches. They're doing Bluetooth controller tetherings for like doing sims, dynamic power, backpack support. It now binds with your home Wi-Fi instead of having to try to find the SSID of your transmitter and your receivers. Now you can put in your SSID for your home Wi-Fi and the password, and it will log itself in on your network. So it's just looked at as just a normal network device. So as long as it's close enough to your router where your router can pick it up, you can flash it from just about anywhere. Some telemetry improvements, and this is interesting the way they phrase this. Pretty things for your crotch. OLED support. Basically, they now have support for the beta FPV micro module, the one with the little dingus arm switch that everybody complained about. So that's in there. Updates to the baud rate. So they're really leaning into Edge TX really hard to update the baud rates to go ultra fast. Unfortunately, I'm on the Mambo and TBS doing TBS things. And yeah, I'm kind of stuck there for a while, so we'll see what happens when that changes. Oh, where are we at? House FPV asks, do I have a Ruby Moon promo code? Absolutely, I do. Tweet FPV will get you $1.50 off each item. RubyMoonCoffee.com. Excellent coffee. I know the owner, my buddy Brent. I work with him at my day job. Super good guy. Very, very passionate about coffee. Yeah, we share an affinity for coffee. So much that he was going to make coffee for my crew, and I thought I was the only one that drank coffee, and I told him, hey man, don't waste an entire pot of coffee on just me. I'll go burn a K-cup. It's okay. That's how much I care about coffee. Or do I care about... I don't know. It was, whatever. All right, where are we at here? So anyways, Sharkbite HD0 for the win. That is going to be the future of racing. I flew really well on it. It was a brand new quad that I just found a CLI dump on the internet the night before, dumped it on there, and I went and flew it. Zero testing. I hovered in the basement. That's about it. Yeah. It's a good flying quad, though. Very good flying quad. So over on my Discord for some of my members, I did a secret Santa shopper thing. I did it last year. I did it this year. I think I had 15 people participate this year. Everybody stepped up and did their thing. I think just about everybody has their secret shopper packages, except for maybe like 1 or 2 people. I got mine Friday. Thank you so much. You know who you are. This is awesome. That is a very thoughtful gift. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I know who bought for me because I wanted to play along, so I just didn't know what they got me. So, anyways, I wanted to play along. But a lot of cool gifts getting sent out from complete strangers all across the world. I decided to include international folks. Those people I did kind of cherry pick who was buying for you. I know some people are more familiar and more comfortable sending stuff international or purchasing things outside of the U.S., so I did kind of think about that one. But some things to improve on for next time. I think I'm going to do Christmas in July. I'll do it again this year. Guys that participated remind me, and I'll do it in July. I thought about doing it last year. This life was just far too busy this summer. Moving the family out to Chicago and whatnot. Robbie, welcome to the live stream. How you doing? Keith Drones, thank you so much for coming out. Tommy's Lazy, that's a new one. New person, thank you for coming out. Hi all, what soldering iron do you recommend? It's 80-watt electric adjustable. Okay, yeah, at the minimum, something that has an adjustable temperature control on it is ideal. If you're looking for my recommendation for a bench soldering iron, the Heiko 888D is my personal recommendation. It will outlast you, and you can give it to your kids when you pass away. It is basically the standard for soldering irons. There are better out there. There are some features that are better than others, but here's a link to the one I'm talking about. That is my personal recommendation for a bench soldering iron. Super solid, but if you're looking for something portable, or if you can only afford one soldering iron, the TS100 is a great option. It's kind of expensive for what it is, but the Sequire, let me find it here. The Sequire line of soldering irons are extremely good. Basically, they're just clones of the TS100 for half the price. There you go. That's my personal on-the-go soldering iron. Let me show you what I do with it. Be right back. So that soldering iron is right here. And this nice handy dandy 3D printed kit gets you everything you need for in the field. Got your iron, you got your cord, and inside the lid here is this thing. You pop her in there, and then you've got your soldering iron holder for while you're working in the field. Runs off your field packs, comes with the XT60 connector, runs anywhere from like whale farts up to 6S, you know, like, and you know, if you know somebody with a 3D printer, or if you have one, you just print out this case, use this filament for the hinges. This thing is awesome. I don't know where the STL is, don't ask. Just Thingiverse it, you'll find it. TS100 is awesome, but the clones are just as good for half the price. Ricardo Ferreira, hi, do you think ELRS 900 will perform better than 2.4, particularly regarding penetration through trees and walls? Absolutely it will. That's just science. You know, 900 megahertz has better penetration through things than 2.4. It's going to be a slower link, but it will have better penetration. That's just science. L. Leston, how are you doing this morning? Keith Drone says TS100 is awesome. It is awesome. It is, if you can only afford or only want one soldering iron, that's the one. When I do my builds on the stream, I always use this Sequoia SQ001 soldering iron. It's capable of doing everything we need it to do. You know, the watt rating is, it's kind of a marketing number. I've had soldering irons that were 30 watts that work better than like a Wella 60 watt that you can get from Home Depot without adjustability. The way those the lower end soldering irons work is as the tip heats up, it reduces it increases resistance, or increases resistance. So it's not computer controlled. It's basically just a physical, I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something in the tip that actually limits the power going to the tip as it gets hotter. So it'll get pretty hot real quick, and then to get to that last 100 degrees, it takes forever because it's an actual like mechanical thermal control that it has to it, and they honestly kind of suck. I had the TS80, which was a lower output than the TS100, and it put heat to the work just as fast, if not faster. But you know, and a lot of it comes down to the quality of the tips too. I've seen reviews of the Pencil. That does look like a very good soldering iron. There's a lot of new ones out. Oh, geez, YouTube did the thing. Oh, where are you at? Where did we go? I really don't like how YouTube does this. I have no idea where I was at. Screw it, I'll just start somewhere. It's pretty easy to update the SPI ELRS version. It's awesome. I just haven't given it a try yet. Haven't been big into the whoops lately. Rob Logan Jr., how are you doing this morning? Steady Eddie, ELRS 2.0 is official. The VTX stuff in the Lua is pretty sweet. You can do auto update, you power up. Now that's something I want to give a try to. The advantage of Ghost was that you can turn the radio on, set your VTX channel and power, and store it. And when you powered up the quad, it would change the transmitter channel, then power the it would change the VTX channel and then power up the transmitter, the VTX, so that you weren't like blasting the spectrum on what your old channel was, then your new channel. I need to see how it implements this. Does it turn on, go to the old channel, read the new one, and then start, and then change? If it does that, then it still needs a little bit of work, but things to see. But that's something was very much looking for with Express LRS to happen. Oh, let's see. You need the VTX backpack for it, though. Oh, okay. So, something to look into. Athix, how you doing? Bitterfoot. Best place ever. At Brian Huff. Talk about Montana. I went there once. It was a fun time. Bork says he got his Secret Santa yesterday. Loves it. Awesome. Brian Huff got his. Keith Jones is a big old thumbs up for the July Secret Santa. Why not? Yeah, let's do it. It's just amazing to me that I don't know anywhere else where you could have just complete strangers across the world actually like roger up and do this thing and not just be D-bags about it and screw someone over. It's awesome. Dan636 asks, what motor do you recommend for a 3-inch Apex? TOKA. I'll show you which ones I put on mine. Toka 1505 are awesome motors. These are probably the best ones I've ever had. These are excellent motors. Ultra smooth, especially if you're going to do like an HD board on your quad. These things are super smooth, very good looking motors. Focus shoot, you know what? Extremely smooth. Lots of power. That would be my recommendation for a 3 or 3.5 inch Apex. Rick Space says Christmas and Joy would be awesome. I want to send out a very big thank you to Secret Santa. Yeah, same here. Sequoia TS 100-ish. Yeah, that's perfect. Brian Huff says I received my sub 250 crate with the King 2004 4000 kV motors. What frames would make most sense to pair with these? A 3 to 4 inch, or even a 5-inch quad. Like the Rotor Riot's got a new 5-inch sub 250. TBS Pod Racer would be a good option. The 250 from Omagod. So what the heck is this one Rotor Riot just released? Drones? Could be drones? Yeah, Rotor Riot just came out with a 5-inch quad, sub 250. Those are good options for the 2004s. 2004s are also good for Cinewhoops, like a 3-4 inch Cinewhoop. Honestly, you can put them on just about anything, as long as it's got a 12x12 mounting. The motor selection isn't super critical, but it all depends on what you're trying to get out of it. Like, I wouldn't put them in a racer, but a sub 250 quad would be a good platform for a 2004. At least in my opinion. Currency W says, I'm looking at the MAS 12 soldering iron, or MSS 12 soldering iron. What is this guy? Let's see what we're talking about here. Oh, it's another Sequoia iron. This little guy, very interesting. They're trying to get like that bench power supply look and feel out of a portable one. Interesting. Pretty cheap. I don't know. I mean, for a field iron, I don't like it because why have all this extra business when you can just have it all in the handle like the 001? I would stay away from the D60B and this one, but definitely this is. Add a cart, you turd. This is the one here. This guy. I would definitely go with that one. It's a tried and true design. It's simple and compact, and that's how I like to do things. And YouTube did the thing. All right. Going through the chat here. Look at that. Making connections. Hope you guys can find people to fly with. I had somebody hit me up, a local guy, said, hey man, looking for someone to fly with, or places to fly. Said he's never seen anybody flying around here. So that's awesome. It's always nice to be able to put the pieces together and make things happen, you know what I mean? Yep, the chisel tip is the perfect tip. The one that I recommend that you get is either the BC2, this guy here, or the D24. Those are my preferred ones, or the B2. But honestly, I want to take only one tip with me. Just a tip, just for a second. And it's gonna the one I always go with is the this one. Come on, do things the right way. It would be the D24. This one here, the pointy chisel tip. That's the one. I do everything with that, from the smallest wires to XT60s and XT90s. Done. Yeah, iron has the power to do it. It definitely works better on a 6S pack than a smaller one. It definitely heats up faster. It's just, just science. Crabtree FEV, let everyone know of they have tech. Oh, okay. I guess they know now. I don't know what I'm talking about. If they have quad problems, email me. All right, yeah, email Crabtree. I don't know what Crabtree's email is. Crabtree. All right, let's see. Dan636, Emax 1606 makes a ton of power. They're hard to find, though. Yeah, they're a little on the heavy side, though. Yep, Crabtree. That's I do have a paid section of my Discord, but it doesn't keep me out of the non-paid section. The paid section is just kind of a bonus for the people who sign up through Patreon. These cool suckers up here. Got to add a new person to the list. Jonathan, I'm going to butcher your last name, Garicio. Sorry if I butchered it. I know I did. Thank you for supporting me. Patreon members have a few perks. For one, like my sub 250 crate giveaways. Like this one I'm going to give away next week. Instead of having to search for the giveaway link in the video, I just put it out there to you guys over on Patreon. And I also do monthly giveaways. They're open to everybody. Just the Patreon members get the links early and often. This month's a big one. I'm giving away a complete ready-to-fly kit. And not just any ready-to-fly kit. We're going to start with some Express ELRS 2.4 action right there. QX7. Running Edge TX. A quad, it's going to be the Eachine Shadow Fiend 4-inch long-range quad. And you're thinking, oh, it's just an Eachine quad. What's the big deal about it? Well, it's because it works with this. That's right. Giving away DJI digital FPV system for the month of December. So, if you're listening and you're like, oh, damn, I need to get in on that. Well, if you want to get the link early, head over to Patreon, sign up for the $5 tier, and you'll get the link right now. Get your name on the list. I'll probably include a charger with this. I'm not going to include any lipos, so you'll have to provide your own power just because shipping gets a little sticky when you start including batteries. So no batteries will be shipped with this stuff. I will solder up the Express ELRS receiver, make sure everything is working prior to sending this out, just because, you know, that's the way we do things around here. But yeah, this is a big giveaway. I've been teasing that one for a while, but there it is. That's what we're doing. So if you want to get in early, you know the place to go. Go to tweetfb.com. Click links at the bottom. I'll get you signed up. Oh, let's see. Bard sends a lot of people to Crabtree. All right. I don't think Bardwell sends anybody to me. Let's see. Yeah, so anyways, I do have a paid section of the Discord just because it's just a perk for being a Patreon member. We talk about some other stuff up there, a little more personal. They definitely get first go at tech help. I have a lot of cool people in my Discord that help out with, you know, troubleshooting and tuning, things like that. And it's just a fun place to hang out. We talk 3D printing, of course. The 3D printing and this hobby go kind of hand in hand. But yeah. ESP backpack. Let's see. So this is how to do the ESP backpack. All right, cool. That is definitely a project on my to-do list. Faux show. Thank you, House. Dan636, I have a friend who loves the Toka motors, the Spander. I heard some of them are notchy though. These ones are not notchy at all. Like, almost imperceptible. It's amazing how smooth they are. FPV cycle motors are excellent as well. I hate his naming. It's almost as bad as T-Motor's naming. Just put the damn size on there so we all know what we're talking about. Steady Eddie says, yeah, I played with it last night. Phrasing? We still doing phrasing? Didn't look for the switch time, but it was pretty quick. From what I read, if you have smart audio set up, should work. I was on AO whoop with SPI. All right. For 3-inch, get the 16mm FPV cycle motors. I'll get you a link just so you guys can see what it is. You don't have to go search for them. These are awfully good motors. There you go. Let's see. Your Toka 1606s are super notchy. Wow. I know they have made different versions of their motors for the last couple of years. I don't know if the older versions of the Toka motors are super notchy, but at least the new ones they have now are unbelievably smooth. Let's see, Apex. What prop and battery for the HD build? The battery I'm running, I don't know, I'm running a variety, anywhere from a 450 to 850 4S, and the props I'm using, at least on this one, the way I flew it last. What are these things? T3 by 2.1 by 3? HQs? Not a super huge fan of HQ props, but, you know, that's what I got. Just get a ton of different props and just fly them until they, you know, you just get a feel for which ones you like, which ones are durable. You know, I've had a lot of HQ props. They always tend to break at the hub. Let's see. Yeah, the Rotor frame, that sub 250 frame that Rotor has is a single bottom plate. Stupid YouTube chat. Stop doing this. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. They do cover an awful lot of the prop area on a 3-inch. Crabtree, $3 super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Get a selection of tips when you get it. Yeah, but if you're gonna get one, I'd go for that 24 tip. I do like to use a larger tip when doing XT60s, but it certainly isn't necessary. As long as you do a good thermal bridge with your solder to the iron to the work beforehand, it'll heat up just fine. Steady Eddie hosting a whoop race in upstate New York on December 19th. If there's any Northeast folks on there, hit me up on Discord. Race is on multi-GP site. Whoop races are so much fun. So much fun. Bob doesn't put the size to slow down the cloning. Yeah, I know he doesn't. They're 1606. All right. Are there any outside of the U.S. retailers of FPV cycle parts? Somebody put it in the chat if there is. Well, maybe not. Sorry, I just got to read a couple things down. Says Bob's working on that. Morton Upshot says they have the Toka 1404. They're stiff when I turn them manually, but fly great on my overweight build. Man, maybe the 1505s are just like that Goldilocks size where they're just ultra smooth. I had some AMAX 1404s. Those were the notchiest motors I have ever owned. Like I thought they were damaged. Like it was just like clank 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 every time they would pass the magnet. They were the notchiest motors I have ever used. They had a ton of power though. Okay, on the Nachi discussion, I thought Nachi meant they had high torque. They have a propensity to have high torque. That doesn't mean they do. It could just be poor design. I'm trying not to swear today, guys. I'm trying. It ain't gonna work. They have the propensity to have higher torque, but they could also just be poor build quality. Usually that means the magnets are stronger and closer to the windings. There may be more metal in the windings, not in the windings, but in the core itself. But with small motors, like what we'd be using on 3-inch and 3.5 and under, maybe even 4-inch, that notchiness, it can be present in the gyro when you're flying. Bigger quads don't seem to be affected by it. It's just more that the PID loop has to kind of work through is that notchiness. So if you can get something that's smoother, that still gives you an adequate power and efficiency that you're looking for, then you might as well just go with that. The Imperials are awesome. I've heard a lot of good things about those. Yep, the Rotor Riot frames are ugly as sin. All the Rotor Riot frames are ugly. I am not a fan of them. I mean, the CL1, people love the CL1. I think it is a awful looking frame, but then again, you know, function over form for sure. I mean, look at this. I mean, clearly we were keeping the cost of machining down. Big old slab arms. Like, are you attaching ESCs to those? Look at this top plate. Nothing. Not even a place to loop a battery strap. No thanks. The driblet. I mean, this screen. This looks exactly like a Flex RC frame from 5 years ago. Do they even have it on here? Where's it at? Yeah, I don't see their I don't see that 5-inch frame on here. Anyways. Not a huge fan. Not a huge fan. Lots of heat and flux. I never use flux. The wire has plenty of flux in it for what you're doing. But then again, I solder everything at 850. Like whatever the max is, I solder everything at the max. Dwell time is what kills electronics. Super hot, get in, get on, get out. I've been soldering for years and years and years. What's up, flying? 32 and sunny in Ohio. What did I miss? You missed what the giveaway is for next month and some perks for being some of the cool kids up there. Yeah, thanks, Bitterfoot. Dampening grease is magic, but so messy. Yeah, I got a frame from somebody that I can tell they put the shmoo on it because it's in all the little nooks and crannies. You know, I know it makes a huge difference in being able to PID tune, or it helps the PID loop out, and you're able to reduce filters and reduce filter delay and all that stuff. I think it's not worth it at that point. Like, it's cool in concept to know that, hey, you can get even better results by doing this one neat trick. You remember that kind of crap? But I think it's not worth it, especially because the second you hit a blade of grass and ding up a prop, like, it's all out the window. I don't know. It just does not seem worth it to me. I do use that grease on a lot of other stuff, like all the little slider bars in my radio. Put that dampening grease on there, and man, it makes the radio nice and smooth. Current JW, what are you putting the grease on? Everything, all over the frame. It's gross. Has its own outlaw page. Okay, there it is. It is not a pretty frame. Not that it matters, but I mean, put some effort into it, guys. I wonder what the resonance characteristics are like on this frame. It's definitely not going to be good for putting a DJI unit in it. This is definitely more shark fart designed, whereas like the Umagod 250 definitely is built around a DJI Vista. Did I say air unit before? I meant Vista. That's what I meant. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad looking quad. Built and tuned for 107. Oh, with oh, never mind. That's save. I'm an idiot. 322.49. They're using the T-Motor 2004s. I mean, I don't like having people build quads for me. I prefer to build them myself, but you know, whatever. Oh man. No, man, you don't need it. You don't need it. No flux. Flux is great for when you've overheated the joint and you've burnt the flux out of what's existingly. It already exists in the wire. Yeah, the only time I use flux is if I have to like reheat an XT60 to flow more onto it or pull it apart. Sub 250, they could cut slots in the plate. Yeah, I know. I wonder how much more that adds to the machining cost. Yeah, I bought one of the Baby Apes. Not a bad little quad. For what it is, for what it costs, it's not bad. It is the camera's just awful. The camera's terrible on it. It really needs a different camera. They do have a Baby Ape Pro that has a better camera on it. I think they're using a Catic Ant on the Pro, so that's better for sure. But anyways, back to the race builds. The other analog quad. You know, I've got I always run the indestructible lipo straps. These ones here with the Kevlar fiber woven into them. They are great, but the Velcro does kind of give out after a while. And, you know, when you clip things, I eject batteries. So this one landed on the runway, and I got one bent motor. Hopefully I can just swap the bell on it, not have to go crazy with it. Crabtree, the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. There's a sale on antenna long range True RC work freestyle cruising. There's a sale on True RC. True RC attic. DJI. Yeah, I mean it'd be fine. The stock ones are fine for cruising freestyle park. The problem with the DJI ones, like what you're quoting here, is they're usually left-hand polarized. Whereas I think the vast majority of people who build a quad, they're either linear or they're running right-hand circular polarized on their analog quads. So that's something you gotta consider, like what antenna's on your analog quad. If you're buying a DJI antenna, it's usually gonna be left-hand. So you just gotta match up the polarity. Sky says slots in the carbon isn't that much as to next to none. Yeah, I gotta imagine it can't be that expensive. It's probably another second or two to the run. Pro has the Cadex Ant, yes. I built for a living and use a flex pen, especially an XT60. I mean, everybody has their way of doing things. I've taken you know, I'm not going to flex nuts on who's soldering what. I solder on stuff that flies in the air and carries people. I know what I'm doing. Can patches be polarized? Yes, they absolutely can. Brandon Baked Beans, how are you doing? Rainy day here. Oh boy, mudslides then, right? So you go from forest fires to mudslides? Oh, I kid. Brandon, have you considered conformal coating everything you own and doing long-range flights in the rain? Wonder away. Yeah. Definitely don't need it. And you can get just as good results. It depends on what you solder at. You know, if you're trying to solder every joint at 600 degrees, you're going to be on that joint for freaking ever, and you're going to burn the flux off of the joint before the joint solidifies, or before the solder solidifies into the work and into the wire that you're working with. If you solder at a hotter range, say 750, 850, you will heat the work up faster, you'll heat the wire up faster, you'll heat the solder up faster before the flux has a chance to completely burn off. And you will still get those nice shiny solder balls, or the solder beads, than you would if you used a lot of extra flux. Then you don't have the mess to clean up afterwards, because flux is corrosive. Do you go back and clean off all your flux with alcohol? Flux is corrosive, usually. There is no clean flux, but that stuff just looks like crap, because then you have like this sticky flux on everything. It sticks to grass and dust. Oh, it's conformal coat. Protects from corrosion. Yes, it does. Most of the stuff doesn't last long enough to be corroded, though. Yeah. Conformal coating. I always build quads. I'm like, all right, I build it up, make sure it works. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go back and conformal coat it, and I get busy, and I never do. Brandon Baked Beans says I have a dedicated Big Mama soldering for XT60s and 12 gauge. Various fluxes. Yeah, I have a soldering iron that literally vibrates when you turn it on. It has such a huge transformer in it. I used it for automotive applications for a long time, like soldering power leads for snow plows, which are, you know, you're talking like 8 gauge wire. But typically I just use a torch to solder those things. My iron stays at 850 most of the time. Good. So you know what I'm talking about then. Like I watch these people give soldering tutorials like the melting point of solder is 400 degrees, so set your iron slightly. No, that's not how it works. If the smoke stops, it's too hot. Get out fast. Yep, Brandon, you're on it. The smoke is from the flux. It's not from the solder. Soldering does not get the wire hot enough to vaporize the lead. People get freaked out about leaded solder. The only way it's going to get into you is through your grubby little you-know-what beaters and eating food, drinking stuff. I've done soldering schools for through the Air Force that, you know, there's a dozen of us in a small room. There's no ventilation. They're like, no, it's fine. Yeah, I'd have to show you a picture of it. It is huge. Like, the transformer on it is literally probably 4.5 inches cubed. Like, it is huge. Well, no, bigger than that. But it's huge. The transformer on it's huge. Oh, yeah. Sorry, EDOC. We're talking freedom units. Yep, that's who I got it from. I got it from my grandfather. He passed one to me. Actually, he passed me a couple of them. Best soldering help is to get a good iron. Yep. It's just like MIG welding, you know? It's 90% the machine, 10% the operator. Oh yeah, Mark 2K says genuine Hacko. So that is an issue. There are a lot of cloned Hacko and Weller soldering irons out there, and you got to kind of know what you're looking for. Smoke is from the flux. The solder ain't getting burnt. No, it's not. So I should stop holding a soldering iron with my mouth. Well, I mean, you can do what you want. If you're an adult, I'm sure most of the learning defects are over with, you know. Yeah, don't point the fan at your soldering area. It cools too quick. Yep. So they had a drone waterproofing system. I think Nerk did a video on it, but it was basically like 2 pieces of cellophane with basically some butyl tape between them. You just kind of squeeze it all together. The motors are naturally waterproof anyways. I mean, other than the camera, put some Rain-X on the lens. I don't know. Yeah, definitely put one of those V-Fly buzzer things on there. You might need it. But that'd be. I don't think I've seen too many like rainy weather, long range, or really rainy weather flying, you know? Yeah. All right, so we've been going for about an hour. Thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate it. Crabtree, shit, you're not a moderator. All right, hang on a second. You're a mod now. Go ahead and post a link to how people can get a hold of you if they need someone to build their stuff for them or whatever it is you do. It sucks flying rain. Yeah, I hear that. I've seen waterproof cases that stock components before. I don't think I've ever seen a drone concept in over a year now. Yeah, weatherproofing seems to be a hot topic around this time of year, and then it dies off, then it comes back, then it dies off. I'm still using the MG Chemicals silicone conformal coating. I reconformal coated all my HD0 stuff in my race quad because I had that failure. There you go. There you go, Crabtree. Hey, and also, if you head over to my Discord, I have a lot of people over there that will help you out as well. I'd rather fly a blizzard than rain. Yeah, for sure. Somebody's talking. Interesting. I fly my camera drone in the rain just because I can, but I get the joy out of camera drone anymore. Yeah, I've got an old DJI Air, Mavic Air. I got to get rid of that thing. I bought it for traveling, and I've used it a bunch of times. I really like it. I've used it. Jeez, I think each battery has like 9 charges on it. It was good, but I just don't have a use for it now. I need to move that thing along one of these days.
money, talking so much money, I could mess around and buy Amazon. I've been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo.
Yeah, as long as the lens isn't plastic, I think Rain-X will be just fine. Rain-X does weird things to certain mixes of polycarbonates and plastics and stuff like that. Like it'll fog it and make things crack. But I think most of us are running glass lenses now. Mitch Thompson, do I talk much about whoops? Yeah, I fly plenty of whoops. Lately, I haven't been flying so many, but yeah. Brandon McBeans, he's so flipping mad. My last Hummingbird bit the dust on me. I have one brushed whoop, and it's on a 716 motor one. I think I'm gonna buy a brushed Pro whoop. You selling yours? I have a yeah, Mitch during whoop season. I do have a brushed newbie drone. I like flying it, but I don't know. It's like I fly it for nostalgia reasons. Like it's fun to fly. It's certainly not competitive racing at all, but you know, I could be talked into selling it if you want to hit me up over on Discord. Tony Hernandez, how you doing this morning? Crabtree, the Discord link's in on my website. It's just a one-stop shop for everything. I was trying to figure out a canopy to mount the Runcam Nano 2 to my mob light. Oh, let's see. There was one that I printed out a while back. That's this guy here. This is a pretty good one. Give that one a try. There's a couple different prints there. And what you can do is you can just embiggen the so take that design, drop it into Tinkercad, and then just poke a hole through it the size that you need, and boom, there you go. You got your canopy. Yeah, I like to fly them for fun. Yeah, for some reason, the one I have, like, I kept chucking props off of it. Mitch Thompson, I don't have a printer. I have kids instead. Well, sell the kids and buy a printer. You can make money with the printer. I guess you can make money with... we're going to go down a weird road there. Get rid of the kids and get a printer. Or buy your kids a 3D pen and let them go to town making stuff for you. Mitch Thompson, if you're in the U.S., I'm sure you can find someone that would gladly print one out for you. Made a decision to add EP2 to my mob light. Yeah, I've been selling off all my newbie drone quads that I can't put a external receiver on because I ain't got time for that. Demonetized, right, Morton? Yeah, so that's the big thing about Express ELRS is it covers everything from micros to X class to wings, one protocol to rule them all, and everything that I have that doesn't have it or can't accept it, I ain't got time for it. It's out. Adds too much weight and looks ugly. Well, I'm not really in it for looks. And yes, I agree, it does add weight, but you also see people flying the same thing with Crossfire with big old dangly antennas hanging out of it, so I don't know. You can overcome the weight. I'm wondering how much extra weight gets added to like an AIO board with an internal SPI FreeSky receiver versus an internal ELRS receiver. It's probably negligible. But I don't know. I can't fly D8 anymore. Like I go back to it and it's just it's a mess. It's a mess. But Kern Shadow, that is very, very true. It does add, it's for a whoop or a micro, it doesn't add a significant amount of weight. I know the receivers are very light, but when you're talking the quads 20 grams, 30 grams to start with. You add, you know, another 5, 10 grams. I don't know how much does an EP2 weigh? Can't weigh that much. So half a gram, like you include wire, say half a gram. That's what, 10% of the, or 5% of the all up weight. Yeah, that's significant. This is the Angry Don 17 gram build. Have an external EP2. I don't know what he's running there, but done a lot to reduce weight. Yeah, that is, so Crossfire, when that was like the best option out there, you just kind of had to deal with the 915 antennas. I was running PCB antennas, little ones about that long on my race quads, just kind of bolt them to the bottom plate. They didn't get chopped. They worked. When I was on the starting blocks, I was getting low RSSI just because the ground's attenuating everything. But I wouldn't run a micro antenna on my race quads, or not a micro, but like an EP2 with the ceramic antennas on my race quads, just because I want that extra range when, you know, like when you're on the ground attenuates everything. But like with Crossfire, you clipped a little bit of your antenna and you hit the ground, you're done. You're not rearming. Tomes says flash RC4 to my R9. Oh, just as a heads up, ExpressLRS is out of release candidate, so 2.0 is official as of last night. Beta FPV, Happy Model are making their whoop boards for ExpressLRS. Yes, they are. I believe is there another company out there doing it? I think Beta FPV has two different versions. They have one with the SPI ELRS, which is a little bit faster, but it's built in. And then they also have one that runs over UART, which is a little slower, probably completely negligible, but it then does get treated like a standard standalone ExpressLRS receiver, rather than having the firmware built into the Betaflight code. EDOC, you are 100% correct there. They are all almost perfect. There's always just something about them that needs to be changed. Mostly, for me, it's usually the battery connector. That PH 2.0, that thing needs to die and go away. BT 2.0 is the way to go. GMB 27 is better on paper. Obviously, XT30 is better on paper, but we're talking 1S and weight is a thing. The GMB 27 is a better connector on paper, and in every test I've seen. Problem is with the GMB 27 is the connector is unbelievably unreliable. Like, I have every quad I have with the GMB 27, I get roughly 20 packs and I have to replace the pigtail. They break internally. I don't get it. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're using leaded solder and they're wicking the wire and it's breaking internally. Something sucks about the way they do it. But the BT 2.0 have been super reliable. I think it's probably the best middle ground solution we have right now. Let's see. Let's show this vidya. So this was. I have too many drives on my computer. Where is it at? All right, here we go. Finish videos. All right. This was from yesterday. Stop making with the noise. So this was, remember guys, this is what I'm seeing while I'm flying. Now, realize you are looking through YouTube compression and all that stuff, but this is from the race yesterday on SharkBite. It is foggy as all get out. But this is what I'm seeing No issues with latency, no variable latency like DJI. It is just incredibly clear. Like, I can almost count how many props he has on each arm. And it's also super windy going this direction. Your quad just gets accelerated down the range. I don't think I have system volume put in here, so I don't think you guys can hear. Yeah. But yeah, this is definitely a win for me. Yeah, this is the way to go. I wish DJI would do a race mode. They could certainly do it and compete, but they just can't be bothered. But I think going forward, like all multi-GPT chapters they're going to have to accept all brands, you know, analog, digital, of the Sharkbite and of the DJI flavor. Just the hobby's becoming fractured, and unless you accept everybody, you're going to have a tough time. But you know, that interview Bardwell did with Evan Turner, he's predicting 50% of pilots are going to be on Sharkbite next year. But it is, oh God, it was so clear. It was such a good experience. I can't say enough. This is the way to go, guys. If you're looking to get into racing, or if you got the extra scratch to drop on it, it is very good. Very good. Yeah, for racers. I don't think the average park flyer should. Yeah, it starts. Let me clarify that. The average park flyer, if you're gonna do one of the digitals, go with DJI. It looks better. It has better range, at least for the time being. If you're racing, or you want that real low latency link, Shark Fart. That would be. I've had this system for over a year, and I haven't even messed with it. I had the old Bitefrost system with the big monitor and all that stuff, and I built a race quad with that. I was very impressed. It looked really good. VTXs were huge. Had that stupid ground station you had to plug in your goggles. Pain in the butt. It was good. It looked really good. This looks even better. The cameras are really nice. The VTXs are smaller. I heard they have a 1 watt VTX in development. And the owner of HD0, he made an announcement on Facebook, of all places, that they have a bunch of stuff in development. And it said early, like July-ish timeframe, 2022. Not July, but like for Q1 2022. They're planning on releasing a module that does analog and digital. I am so hopeful that it's something that fits into a typical Fat Shark module bay like this, instead of having to have this thing hanging off the front of your goggles. It does add a significant amount of weight. I kind of have to reposition my head strap and tighten it down to make it so it's not like sagging on my face. You know, and after I broke that digital quad, I had to go back to flying analog, and God, the video quality was just horrendous. And I'm in one of the qualifiers, and it's just like the back stretch is all static, and then it just dawned on me, I never put my antennas back on my analog module. I was flying with no antennas. Like an idiot. Ugh. Anyways. Rick Zapatis says, I'm putting Tracer in my Apex build, and it will also be my switchback build for racing season. Yeah, so I do have Tracer in my race quads just because it's convenient to have that, the VTX switching built into it, using the TBS system. Mike Bergman jokes on us, Earth ends before June 2022. Yep. You got it. What would you do? What would you do if you knew the world was coming to an end? That's always an interesting question for people. All right. All right, I got a little poll going up there. So that video you just watched, racing in the field. Remember, YouTube compression does exist. It sucks. What'd you think of the video quality? Was it better or worse than what you were expecting out of SharkBite, or was it about what you expected? Oh, Rick Cepeda. I was like, why? I was surprised you were going to go with Tracer. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected you to say, is Sharkfart and Express ELRS. China said they had to delay that timeline. Yeah, I love how the country speaks. I would get called a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, you would. Whoever flies with the most toys wins. 2 more weeks. Earth magnetic field is collapsing. Morton Upshot. Okay. I think a lot of people would choose that one. But they also know it too, so would they take credit cards? Would they take payment? I don't know. Yes. So the image I'm seeing in the goggles was a little bit clearer than what you guys are seeing on the DVR. Like so clear that when I'm flying behind that other guy, that I can almost see the fact that he was running quad-bladed props. And on OLED, it is just funny. I do have the Recon HD or whatever they are, the Scout HDs. They don't do it justice. It's just an easy way to get into the system. I wish that thing had a HDMI out on it. But I was very impressed with it. It was a bummer that it died when it got wet, but I mean, I don't blame the system on that. The fact that it survived getting wet and then being cleaned off and then work again, that's kind of impressive for me. You know, Mike Bergman, so that $99 sale was really cool, but I think there are better things coming. I mean, there's always better things coming. I'm really hoping they do like a Fat Shark module bay style receiver and get rid of this big thing. It's nice that it's quad diversity, so it uses 4 antennas. You know, you got your 2 on the top that you have to add, and then these 2 are patches. So there are actually 4 antennas on this entire module, plus a fan and an SD card. So the DVR that came out of this module looks significantly better than the DVR that came out of the Orcas. And as we all know, Orca has basically the gold standard for DVR built into them. So I was kind of impressed with that. And if anybody wants me to like post the actual like the raw footage, I can certainly do that. I'll put it in a Dropboxy type thing or Google Drive, something like that, so you guys can see what it looks like before YouTube goes ahead and mangles it, because it certainly does. It's unfortunate. So, what incentive should I get for my SharkBite build? Doesn't matter. Just match the polarity. Right hand circular is on the quad. Right hand circular on your goggles. Left hand doesn't. You know, as long, just keep them the same. Just keep them the same. So I posed a question last week about this ISDT Air 8 receiver, or not receiver. Jeez, battery charger. And I talked about these little plugger doer things that they come with that basically brings the smart, the Bat Go technology to every LiPo out there. And I asked you guys what you thought, and most of you were just like, nah, that's dumb. And then I heard somebody Actually, I mentioned on Bardwell's stream, and he said, well, that's dumb. I am going to disagree. This is really, really interesting technology. I think for the average person, the average rate, you know, the person who has 20 packs, I don't think this is going to be a big deal, but it does add a lot of neat features to your batteries. The fact that it, let me just show you guys here. Let's show you. Let's do this. Come on, phone, do your thing. I hate the underscreen fingerprint scanners. I miss the Retina scanner. Why did you lose it, Samsung? Jeez. So here are both of these LiPos. My phone is talking to both these LiPos through Bluetooth. Yeah, whatever, not a big deal. Now imagine you had, say, 20 of these things. And you're looking through your battery stats and you're like, oh, this one's charged. Which one is that? It's this one. Or say you had 20 batteries and you wanted to pick one up and you want to be like, oh, which battery is it that I'm looking at? That one. Okay, no big deal there. Whatever. That's a small niche use, whatever. So here's the other thing. Let's say you're a 107 pilot. You're supposed to keep maintenance records of everything you do. You want to be safe. If you're doing things the right way and you're not just out there hot dogging it, you're supposed to keep maintenance records of everything you got going on. Batteries are the biggest maintenance hogs that you have to deal with. Keep a track of cycles and all that stuff. Yep, you could just pen and ink the side of the pack. This keeps track of every cycle, how many cycles you put on it. In here, you can specify what this battery is. When you plug it into the appropriate charger, it will automatically set up the charging rate. Now, we're not talking about parallel charging. Parallel charging, you can still do it with these little plugs on there. You just have to do the normal parallel charging smartness that you normally have to do. But if you're going to charge individual packs, you plug this in, give the charger a second, it goes, I know what that is. You have it set to charge at 1S, and you have it set as an 1100 milliamp pack. I'm going to charge at 1.1 amps at 6S voltage. All right, cool for the newbie, whatever. Here is the other cool part. Auto storage timer. You can set this anywhere from 12 hours to 240 hours. I don't know what that equals in days. This little dongle piece here will discharge this pack down to 3.8 volts per cell, not just pulling voltage out of this to get to your pack voltage like the other dischargers do. This actually will pull each cell to 3.8 because it's discharging through the balance port. And these little guys, they're $5 a piece. Well, $25 for 5. But your normal little plug-in discharging thingies, they're about $7 a piece for like the V-Fly ones. So interesting little functionality there. Just thought I might mention it. So I do really like that. I have a bunch of more. That's 10 24-hour days. All right, cool. Thanks, Mike. I don't math well. Yes, I have flown with them on. I watched an FPV hack video from I don't know who's the other ethics guy. He had this like 10-minute video of putting tape on his LiPo to make something to hold his XT or his balance leads, and I'm like, yeah, I just wrap a rubber band around it, and I just fly like that. So you can leave them on there. They have a little clip that clips around the backside of the connector to hold it on there. For all the people that get tattoo LiPos and they leave that big old chunk of plastic on the back of the balance port, it's no bigger than that. I always take that thing off and throw it away, but that's me. Yeah, so the connector itself, They are $25 for 5. Now here's the thing that kind of sucks is this one here does. This one only does 5 and 6S. This one does, I think, 3 and 4S, and then there's another one that does 2S. So it's not buy one for all, but that is a downside. But it does make them smaller. Like these are definitely significantly different size. So you do have to buy the right one for the size of battery. I have a bunch of 6S and 4S ones coming, just because I want to see what it's like to live with the battery monitoring feature. I think it's a neat feature. It might be good. It's definitely good for somebody who's running FPV as a business, because it does give you those records of cycles, and then you can identify packs that are having problems and weed them out. If you're not super meticulous about keeping records and stuff like that. The auto discharge feature is awesome. Like I've said, like the V-Fly dischargers, these things are $7 a piece. These are 5, and they do way more than those. And then the charger itself does come with one 6S and one 4S. A little dongle thing. I'm gonna put a link there. The charger, I like the charger. I had issues with it yesterday since it's got it's capacitive buttons. Thing was going nuts in the fog. I don't know if that was messing with it or if I have a defective unit. More like in the house it works fine, but out in the field it was just rolling. It kind of sucked. But that charger does work with these connectors, and it will recognize what you have that battery set at after you plug in the balance lead, and it'll go, oh, that's your settings. You want a charger or not? So I don't know, something different, kind of cool. Let's see, where am I at? Mike Bergman asks, can you plug your battery into charge without pushing any buttons? Are you talking about pushing buttons on the charger? You still have to tell it to charge. Like you plug it in, you say, you hit enter, and then it has all this, all the information preloaded, and you just hit it again and it charges. Maybe I can show you. Hang on. Let's see. Yeah, it's 25 for 5, so $5 a piece. Morton says he numbers all his batteries, but he wouldn't need to. That's true. Mike Bergman says that's actually pretty badass. Watch him implement that would be pretty cool if they could implement remote ID into the balance port. As long as it doesn't make it the size of the battery. I don't know. What's the standard prop shaft on T-mount props and motors? There is no standard. There are a bunch of different ones, but typically they're 1.5 millimeters. Definitely measure your prop, your motor post, because there are different sizes out there. Everybody's telling me it's 10 days. Thank you so much. Current stage up says I parallel charge everything though. You can still use this on a parallel charger. Makes no difference at all. But it will still keep track of the battery voltage. It will still auto discharge. It will still keep track of over discharge scenarios. It won't keep you from burning your house down for being a knucklehead and plugging in a battery with a bad cell. It's not going to do that. Is it a bad idea to buy 2mm shaft motors for 3-inch Freestyle? I don't see why it's a bad idea. I've been using TPU balance port holders. Yadi explained a really good method of using them and keeping track of charged and uncharged batteries that I've adopted. Yeah, I mean, TPU is kind of heavy in all reality for what it is. A rubber band is light. It's versatile. That's it. She ain't going nowhere. That's just the way I do it. I've tried the TPU things. They're cool, but keep it simple. You know, that's what it comes to today. Is today the Rtf giveaway? No, that will be end of the month. Probably on the... I'm probably going to do it on the 2nd, just because I'll be traveling for a while, and next week's supposed to be the sub 250 giveaway. I will hopefully get a live stream out. If I don't, I might be on the road. I'm not sure. I'll just pick somebody and announce it on my community page. Sorry, guys. Content's going to be a little scarce for me for the rest of the year, just because I've got a lot going on. Yeah, you can plug the connector into the parallel board. Yep. It wouldn't give you any advantage while charging parallel, but all the other advantages afterwards are still there. Yeah, I honestly I don't care about this thing. This thing is whatever. I'll probably keep it in the car. But these are, that was the only way I could get a hold of a couple of those guys quickly, was to get the charger. The charger is meh, whatever. I don't care about the fact that it has the voltages or the charge rate stored in them. That doesn't really do much for me. It's the other stuff that's kind of cool. It starts going to both. It's the holidays are not a relaxing time for me. It's go 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 go, run from place to place to place, and yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really get to enjoy the holidays too much. I mean, I get to see friends and family. That's cool, but it's always just a mad rush from place to place. Yeah, Kearns JW, just buy the connectors here. Let me get you. Let me hook you up. I get you. Hang on a second. I wish I could find them in the U.S. If you guys do find a U.S. link for them, please let me know. Otherwise, the only place I know of to get them is Bangers, and you know, it is what it is. We all know how this works. There you go. Here is a very special link for you guys. Yep, so when I go to the field, I have caps on all my charged XT60s. When I fly them, I take the cap, throw it in the bag, and then when I don't have them charged, they don't have caps on them. Super simple. Let's not make this harder than it has to be. Oh, let's see. I hate ELRS can't bind with Happy More. I hate ELRS can't bind Happy Model AIO board in V2. Is it cool? That's 100% on you. It's nothing wrong with the gear. That's operator error. As long as the AIO board is an Express LRS board and you have an Express LRS transmitter, then you should be fine. I don't know. I've been doing that forever just because it's just simple. June Loco, how you doing today, man? Welcome. Hope you're doing all right. Doing well. Looking nice outside today. Brian Huff, we'll see you next time. Thanks for coming by. Should I upgrade from the Sky 04X to DJI HD? I mean, it depends. Do you want to fly digital? If you want to fly digital, then you don't have a choice. You kind of have to. If you're happy flying analog, then stay with the 04X. If you want to go shark fart, then stick with the 04X. But you know, it's kind of up to you. I feel like that question's a weird one because DJI, I mean, the screens I think are going to be better in the 04X than the DJI because DJI are still LCD screens. 04X or OLED. OLEDs definitely look better. DJI can do digital and analog. Everything else can not. So it's one of those weird questions. Like I really don't know how to answer it. It all kind of depends on what you want to do. Morton Upshot said he was on V2. Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm pretty sure they have a. They have. There are ways to do it. So there's firmware available on the pull request. I haven't tried it yet. I don't know exactly how to do it. But people are telling me that you can do it. There you go. Crazy B F4SX blickety blah. Here you go. Here's the link. It is the very first post at the bottom. There is the files that you need to do it. I'll show you. Right here. I'm assuming I haven't, again, like I said, I haven't done this myself. And there's the hex file for the Crazy B F4 board. Beta Play 4.3. There you go. Hopefully that works for you. Again, like I said, I haven't done it myself, so I can't confirm it. Does the TX need to be on the same version? It needs to be on the same major release. So it needs to be, if you're running 2.0 on your receivers, it needs to be 2.0 on the transmitter from what I'm understanding. If your receivers are on 1, then your transmitter needs to be on 1. Oh, YouTube did the thing. Why? Why do you do this? Charge packs are in the LiPo bag. Dead packs are outside the LiPo bag. Works for me. Yep. As long as you have a system and can stick with it. I leave charged and uncharged packs in my LiPo bag. They're just signified by whether they have a cap on them or not. Keep it simple. Brandon McBeans, I love my dad. Just got off the phone with him. He bought me my last drone, so I should catch long-range flights for him. Ah, cool. June Loco, we'll be reviewing the new Jumper or Radio Master radios. Yes, I have pre-ordered the new Radio Master, whatever it's called. Was it the... What the heck is that thing called? Radio Master... Zorro. This guy. New Radio Master Zorro. No, not the T-Light. Go away. No, go away. Quit fighting me. This one. I do have... Stop it! Crap websites. There we go. Yeah, I have this one coming. Well, I mean, whenever they release it, it probably won't be till... I think they're saying almost like end of Q1 2022, so it's going to be a while before it gets here. I will be reviewing this guy. This does look like a very good radio. Built-in Express ELRS. People were kind of bummed that it didn't have everything in it. You have to choose what you want. You can either do the 4-in-1, you can do Express ELRS, you can do Crossfire or CC2500 if you want just like the one in the 4-in-1, but you have to choose. If you want TBS, it's just they just send you a module that you plug into the back. ELRS should be built internal to it. Same with the 4-in-1 and the CC2500. CC2500 is basically what most people need if they're looking for like a multi-protocol module. It does all the FrSky stuff. It doesn't do Spectrum. The 4-in-1 does everything. It doesn't do Express ELRS or TBS. So you just kind of have to pick and choose which one it is you want. Hall gimbals. Hopefully these are better than the typical Hall gimbals that come in these smaller Radiomaster radios. They are of poor quality in my experience. 18 350 batteries. These things are not going to last long. I'm sorry. This is a dinky little battery. 18 500s were tiny and didn't last long. This is even smaller, obviously. 18 is the diameter, 350 is the length. So these are pretty small little batteries. But they do have a option to strap a larger battery to the bottom of it. I think that's going to be an undesirable position, because when your hand's up on the radio, now you're going to have this LiPo, so your hands are going to be down a lot farther trying to get around the LiPo. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you just move a finger up. It'll be interesting to see. Foldable antenna, awesome idea. I really like that. All the usual stuff, audio output, trainer port, SD card, USB-C, because USB-C is what the world should have. I love that there's momentary buttons on the top. We have sliders, buttons on the back. Got these weird little, I think these look like M2 screw points to attach stuff. I don't know what you'd attach to it. Does have the micro JR bay, or the JR light bay, whatever you want to call it. The grips, I don't know. I wouldn't have used the stock image for the grip. It looks like trash, but whatever. I love the metal rollers as long as they're implemented right. I absolutely hate my Jumper T16 radio. Jumper T16? Whatever one it is I have. The scroll wheel is garbage on it. It's absolute garbage. But yeah, looks like a good radio. No trims. Does it have trim switches on the front? It does have trim switches on the front, so this is ticking all the boxes, guys. This looks like a good radio. But we'll see how they decide to screw it up when they begin producing it, because we know they're going to. Let's see, where are we at? Brandon Baked Beans is deleting messages. Awesome. Where am I at here? There you go. The Jumper T Pro, I'm probably not going to give that a look. If anybody out there does get the T Pro and you want to test fit a set of grips, let me know. I'll send them to you for free. Just put them on and see if they fit. I think the DJI digital FPV drone ones are going to be an exact match, but I'm not sure. Jumper T Pro, they really screwed that up if they're not going to do Express ELRS 2.4 in it. It sounds like they're just going to do a 4-in-1, so meh, ain't got no time for it. Mike Bergman has daddy issues. Horsepower to keep my phone connected during the Wi-Fi. Yeah, so now with ELRS 2.0, it will log into your home Wi-Fi, and it'll just be another device on your network, as long as it can, within range of your router or access point or whatever it is you're using. Kind of want the little jumper. I'd prefer to keep ELRS external so I can swap antennas for long range stuff. Okay, that's a good reason. Can we talk about that black box? Yeah, that black box log was a mess, right? Literally, Brandon, I built that quad Friday night for a race Saturday morning. I found a pre-done tune, copy paste, hover check, left. That's I didn't even know there was a throttle limit on it. I'll be honest with you. I have no idea. Actually, I felt like it flew pretty good. It was a little floaty though. Mitch Thompson, make your own fork, then clone it and apply the files. I have no idea what we're talking about anymore. Shooting Loco, Zorro, yep, that's what we're talking about. I keep losing the caps and got rid of them altogether. I don't remember what we're talking about. Do you ever lose interest in quads for a while? How do you combat this? Yeah, I lose interest all the time, especially because it's kind of a job that doesn't pay not gonna swear today. I do a lot. I do a lot for YouTube, social media, you guys, all this stuff. I do a ton. This is all at a huge loss. I do it because I enjoy it to a certain point, and then I get a hold of a couple absolute D-bags that are being, shitty over email, and then it makes me not want to do this at all. It makes me want to shut this thing down. I just don't care that much. Like my level of care versus not care it's getting very equal nowadays. I lose interest in quads quite a bit. Racing does keep me interested because you can do flippy floppies all day long. You're not going to progress. You're just going to keep doing the same dumb stuff, the same dumb way every time, unless you're flying with people that are going to push you. Racing, on the other hand, will make you a better pilot in every aspect, and it gives you a goal. It gives you a measurable, obtainable goal. Are you faster on this lap? Yes? No? No? Got to work on it. Try different things. Go faster. Push the limits. Did you crash? Nope. Well, then go faster. You don't know how fast you can go till you crash doing it. Racing is the skill builder. If you are not racing and you're flying by yourself, you're probably doing the same thing, worried about breaking your quad. Break your shit. Break it. Don't intentionally break it, but push yourself. If you break an arm, oh well. It is progress. If you fly all the time and you don't ever break anything, you're probably not pushing it and you're probably not developing. I lose interest when there's brand wars going on, like when the TBS versus FR Sky versus Radio Master, all that crap was going on. It made me really not like this hobby. It became a very toxic place to be. I don't like that. Every product has its benefits, its ups, and its downs. I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like I'm on all the Facebook pages and I see somebody ask a perfectly legitimate question. Maybe a question that was asked before, and people just jump down everybody's throat like, oh, you can't use search ups. This is what turns people off, is that kind of crap. I don't comment anymore on Facebook because, well, most people on there are complete D-bags, and the other thing is they don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they're brand loyalists. They are so loyal to a brand that they can't look past the fact that maybe something's better, or, unfortunately, you tried something else, or you have something else, and that's just what you have. I don't know. People ask me like, hey, what should I do this or should I do that? And I'll give you my opinion on what you should do, like especially for purchasing a product. If you already have it, you have it, and we'll work with it. I might make a suggestion like maybe you should consider changing this down the road. Never like, oh, you need to stop, get rid of that before you proceed any further. Because, well, a lot of people can't get into this hobby because it is expensive. This is that hobby you need to get into when you're in your mid-30s, where you have money and you have time. When you're young, you have time and no money. The hobby doesn't work out unless daddy's paying for it. And when you get older, you have time, or you have money, but no time. Kids, family, career, stuff like that. So, I don't know. That was a weird little rant there. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Hey, XT60, XT30 caps have a place to get them cheap or 3D print all. I 3D print them. Current JW, if you need them 3D printed, hit me up on Discord. I can kick you out some. I need a flash updated hex. I'm rocking 1.0 RC hex from months back. Ugh. Got the 4-in-1. Yeah. Not interested in that. Oh, dang it. Stupid chat did the thing. 18350. Yeah. I know yeah, it's tiny. I'm wondering if it runs on 1S or if it's running on 2S. If it's running on 1S, it might actually have some decent capacity. Like that's what I like about the TBS radios. They take two 18650s, but it runs on 1S. So you're taking your capacity of an 18650 and you're doubling it. It doesn't run on 2S, it runs on 1S. Mitch Thompson, I do black box. And I'm at the limits of what to do with these things. Sorry, most ESC firmwares just to do it. So I'm going to use the trainer port. I have used the Bluetooth trainer on the FR Sky radios. When I do, like I go to schools every once in a while, and I show them the drones and all that stuff and the technology behind it. And then I have an old Diatone GTB that I have an Archer receiver in, and I have two X9 Lite S radios. Both have Bluetooth trainer ports. I'll put them on the trainee radio, and I'll be the trainer port, the radio. I'll get it up in the air, I'll hold a switch, and it sends control to them over Bluetooth. You can do the same thing with a wire, same. And then if they get squirrely, I just take control away and, write things, let them go back at it. So I do use the trainer port, but not the port. I use the Bluetooth part. I don't know. Oh, let's see. The Jumper T-Lite Pro using 18650s. They're using a 18650. So that's the issue the T-Lite Pro is having, is not being able to provide enough current for at stable voltage for high power consumption external modules. Like, what's wrong with 18650s? What's wrong with you, Radio Master? They don't have enough space. It's coming down to a size constraint. They didn't pick a 18350 because they wanted to. They picked it because they don't have enough space in the radio. So I closed that poll out a little while ago. It was about what they expected. It was 44% of you thought it was what you expected. 41 was better than what you expected, and 13 people think it was worse. Those 13 people, they're nuts. I don't know. If we buy the 4-in-1, we still have the ability to run Crossfire. You certainly do. But if you bought the ELRS, you also have the option to run Crossfire, or Tracer, or a MPM. It just depends on which one it is that you're going to fly the most, that you want to have internal to the radio. And it's really what it comes down to. Brandon McGene's, after last night, my last DSMX drone, it has a dead RX. I have exactly 2 FR Sky Whoops remaining, 1 Bayang. Do I still need multi? I don't know. Probably not. I mean, I will always have a multi-protocol module on hand just because, options. It starts. CIDFV would have fit if he heard you can copy-paste PID profile. Yeah, I know he would. But, I work a lot, and I don't have time to... It was a last-minute build. I didn't have much. Other than going with Betaflight defaults, could have done that too. That was kind of my idea, is I was going to give it a try. If it didn't work well, I was just going to run defaults and call it a day. But it flew great-ish. Brandon McBeans, I don't know what's up with that log. I'd flash 4.2 on it, though. Way easier for me to analyze at that point. Red PIDs too high, or a gyro issue. This is dual gyro with ICM. No, it is a Acon F7 MPU 6000G gyro. Single. Mike Bergman, those D-bags ruin it for a lot of people. I crank my troll up to 11 for those guys. Yeah, I just don't participate. It's not worth my time. I got other crap to do. YouTube did the thing. There we go. Facebook is the internet trailer park. Yes, it is. I hate Facebook. I still use it. I hate it. Current JW, I fly on my own and still break stuff all the time. If it didn't cost so much, I'd do it on purpose sometimes. I tried that with the Mob Light ELRS thing. I slammed the thing into the wall repeatedly as fast as I could to get the frame to break, and I couldn't. I must have got a lucky frame. I don't know. There's a lack of information just because people being ridiculed to use a search function, that and people don't update their posts to address the original problem. I agree with that, yes. Nobody ever gives closure on their posts. It's just open-ended problems. They figure it out, and I'm done with you. You know, wipe your ass with it. Oh, darn it. Let's try not to swear today. That's one, I think. Probably not. And then they just move on. I'm done with you. Move on. I do love the fact that on Discord now you can create what do they call these things? Threads. So if somebody has a troubleshooting issue, I can break it off into a thread, take it off to the side. We can talk through there, and then it archives that thread. It leaves it active for 3 days. Then, because of the tier I'm on, I think it archives it indefinitely, so you can go back and look at it. So I think Discord's the way to do troubleshooting. Facebook sucks because you just get a bunch of trolls in there saying TBS for life, you know, and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And then also the Facebook or the YouTube comment section sucks. I get like 5 or 6 comments back and forth, and then I stop getting notifications. It really sucks. I'm telling you guys, if you want to get better or you want to stay entertained, race. Find a multi-GP group. Go to multigp.com. Put in your address. Find a group near you. Join. There are some D-bag multi-GP groups out there, but the people who are in them know that they're D-bag groups, and they'll give you a heads up. But for the most part, everybody's cool. You don't have to have a race quad. Just run what you have. Nobody cares. My group, there's people that run Mob 7s on the track just because that's what they got. It doesn't matter. It's as long as you're having fun with it and you're trying to progress, that's the way to do it. Big push for racing. I love racing. I like it. I like it a lot more. Stupid chat. I like it a lot more than actually going out and doing flippy floppies. I just feel like I do the same dumb stuff all the time and I don't have anybody to fly with. All right, where are we at? Brandon McNeans, I'm the anti-crunk tuner. He likes to say, buy better gear. Your gear is trash. I like to polish up shiny turds. Yep. That kind of mentality kind of sucks. Your gear is trash. Buy better gear. I can say this does make your quad fly worse. This new piece of gear might make it smoother, might make it better. But I think people get too wrapped around the axle about tuning. Like, just go out and fly. If the quad's flying decent, go fly. Your tune is not going to make you a better pilot. Stick time is going to make you a better pilot. Your flight videos are boring and they suck, not because your tune sucks. It's because you suck. Sounds kind of harsh. That's the reality. I know my freestyle edits suck because I suck at freestyle. I don't do it very often. I race. I don't care about vibrations and oscillations. Like, you should hear my backup analog quad. It is just going all the time because it's got that D term shutter and I don't care. It flies and it flies well for me. Baron McBeans, regarding powering the radio 1 watt with 1S, what defines high power module? We're talking like Crossfire, when people are trying to run 1 watt on Crossfire, or ludicrous mode on Tracer, all 1 watt. A 100 milliwatt ELRS is not going to break the power supply. That will be just fine. Eric Allen, how you doing? Eric Allen came out to the race yesterday. It's great getting to fly with you. Brandon McBeans are basically sold on Shark Fart. After the past few months of changes, I wish I had goggles that would use the HDMI, to be honest. Analog gogs are back on my wish list now. Brandon, there are going to be changes to the Shark Fart system soon. I would probably hold off. Unless you can find that $99 deal, then jump on it. Hope Newbie Jones working on the ELRS. Whoop, I hope so too. Probably not though. Shoe Horner 21700 in my jumper T-Light. Dang. That's got to be a big old dingleberry hanging off the back of it. I'd love to see pictures of that. I think I still have actually XJT module back in the day. Yeah, we got to keep that stuff. With 4.3, you have presets. Oh, I didn't know that. When Sharkbite can do 1 watt, I'll be in the market. They're in development. You know, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. I thought it was a... Nope, it's MPU 6000 with an optional ICM 2602. Oh, no, wrong board. Hang on. I'm on the Acon Mini F3 flight controller. It is a MPU 6000. This one here. This is the guy. So that is an MPU 6000 with a unknown mystery tune. I use UAV tech presets for PID tunes. They've been great. Yeah, I don't think they work too well for 4.3. Those are all 4.2 presets. Miguel, welcome to the stream. It's a name I haven't recognized. If you've been around, thank you. He says, stupid YouTube chat. Okay, it says, you're so right about age and FPV. I've started at 42. I'm blessed that I can afford this hobby and addiction. Yeah, somebody posed the question, what's worse, having money and no time or time and no money? Let's see, I have 15-year-old buddies, and I have 69-year-old buddies. FPV is for everybody. It is for everybody, but the barrier is different for both groups. Yeah, Brandon, you definitely need to save that for later. Sorry, had something in my eye there. It starts. Yeah. Steady A says, I didn't think I would like racing. I wanted to focus on Flippy Floppies, my local group. So much fun to race with. I've gotten so much better better from racing. Yes, exactly. Racing, I don't think helps you with flow, like being smooth, but it will help you in just about every other aspect. CM Blaster, but when you can see oscillations in the video, then you probably have a hardware issue. Just do what everybody does. Turn on real steady and just send it. Mike Bergman, it's just TBS for life because it's dark, anti-establishment, and cool. Yeah, right. Let's see. No, I mean, sorry, CN Blast. There are edge cases. Most well-built quads where they don't have hardware issues or build issues will fly just fine without oscillations on stock Betaflight. If you're getting oscillations, it's definitely check your build. It's most of the time it's your build. From there, it's rare that a tune is going to fix your oscillations. Some of those oscillations at like the ends of flips and rolls might just be your crappy piloting. Like if you just drop the stick back to center, like if you're one of these guys that flies and just, you're a doinger, you just let go of the stick and let it go back to center, it's gonna fly like crap. If you slowly bring things back to center between flips and rolls, you can learn to fly around a lot of that stuff. Better flying habits will allow you to have a worse quality tune without being obvious, if that makes any sense. Yeah, but a lot of times people aren't flying for the video. Yeah. And let's be honest, nobody cares about your video. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like watching people's FPV videos, but for the vast majority of people out there, they're thinking they're going to make it big off of putting 2 or 3 videos up flying around a field with 2 trees in it. Unless you're doing something spectacular and different than everybody else, you're just another name in the bucket. You got to offer something that the community doesn't have or wants. It's just the cold hard reality of it. This whole thing, this is years and years of grinding away at it, and I'm still a tiny channel. I do it because I love to help you guys out. Yeah, Eric, hopefully you got a micro, because we definitely, I'm definitely gonna try doing a couple micro races this winter. Let's see. Possible Fat Shark will make a full HD goggle with HD0 in it. They did. It's called the Scout HD. And they suck. Because they're box goggles. It's possible that they will build a full HD goggle. More rumors about Orca releasing a new product soon. I don't know. Kind of F Orca. They're the masters of hype. Let's see, Mike Bergman, you're probably right there. Yeah, it would be great if they built. So the problem is, if they do, they're going to build a goggle that will do HD0, but nothing else. That is the issue that always happens. Is people are like, "Hey, look, we made an HD goggle." Oh, you still want to fly analog? Oh, we have this other goggle you can buy too. That's my worries. They're going to make it one or the other and not work for everything. I would love it if HD0 built a Fat Shark sized module to go into a goggle instead of having the Dingleberry on the front. Let's see. Well, yeah, Dauntless. There's that. But again, sometimes people don't have money. Or don't have time, sorry. I have time and no money. I should know. Carbon Cage, what up? How you doing, man? I'm Mahil Reddick. Thanks for coming out today. CM Blast released with no money and time. You can fly gear you already have, rather than having lots, all the nice gear, and not being able to go fly. Yes, it starts. It does improve reaction time for sure. It also makes you structured. Like, instead of just going, I'm going to do a flip. Oh, shit, what am I going to do next? Oh, I'm going to go do this. Like, you get through a gate, you're already thinking of the next one. You're staying 3 steps ahead of what you're going to do next. It gets your brain not living in the moment, but living in the future. Because you got to stay ahead of that power curve, otherwise you're going to clip the next gate. I don't even post my flight edits. I hate making YouTube videos. So many YouTube page maybe has 5 or 6 posts with terrible footage. Yeah. Hell, I gave up on Orca ages ago. I love my Orca goggles. I really do. I had HDO2s and the Orcas. I stuck with the HDO2s because the Orcas, I didn't like the way the HDO2 fits. If the HDO2s had the same shell as the HDO1s, I'd be on those. But they changed the shell, and I didn't like the way they fit. There's always somebody selling used Orcas, but I know they're not making any right now. Hopefully they have a new goggle coming out. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't buy any of their Kickstarter BS, and neither should you guys. If they don't have the wherewithal and the engineering and the financial chops to actually produce a product without us having to bankroll it, that's on them. They shouldn't. It's not right. Yeah, they're doing DOD type stuff. Steve Mann, 54 here, still on the fight. Crash more and fly. Yeah. I mean, I do it just to keep the freaking algorithm going. I don't post many flight videos, if you guys noticed. Every once in a while I'll post race footage just because it's quick, short, and maybe somebody gives a rat's it. I don't know. I don't crash a lot mainly because I don't like walking. Well, there's that. Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Bardwell should be on here in a couple minutes. We're going to wrap this thing up. Remember, next week is the Sub 250 crate giveaway if you haven't gotten entered for that. I don't know what this... I think this is spam. I'm just going to get rid of you. I don't know what this is. You're out of here. next weekend be the giveaway for the Sub 250 crate. Hopefully I get a chance to live stream. If not, we'll, I'll just draw it and post it on my community page. And then on the 2nd, I'll be doing the giveaway for the Ready to Fly DJI Digital FPV bundle. If you haven't signed up for that, wait for the link to come out. Or if you want to get on it early, join up there. Trust me, you're going to want to. All right, guys, thanks for coming out. Thanks for participating. We'll see you all next time. And remember, find a multi-GP group, go race. You'll love it. Maybe. And if you don't, give us more time. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. As always, stay positive. We'll see you later.